Hello everybody. It is Wrestlemania 31 is just wrapped up. I'm Buff Bin Stuffed. If you've never met me before, nice to meet you. Let's talk about WrestleMania. Let's talk about WrestleMania 31. Now, coming into this one, I wasn't very pumped up. Coming out of it, I feel a lot different, which, can happen. And this is my thoughts, reaction, reviews to a show that actually turned out to be far better than I thought it would be. First match was the ladder match. That was fun. People doing the typical ladder match stuff. Ambrose looked like he took a real knock to the back of the head when he fell off got powerbombed off of the ladder onto another ladder that was positioned outside. It was a fun little match. It was great to see Daniel Bryan win. I think you could consider that a consolation prize, considering he was not going to be in the main event. I know a lot of fans were really not happy about that. I know a lot of fans were very furious about that, and I think that was a consolation prize. And it looks like with Daniel Bryan, in theory, he's going to kind of be like given the the workhorse title, the Intercontinental title, and his mission pretty much is going to be to restore credibility and bring it back to the days of a Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect. Very nice to see him win. To be honest with you, anything beats what happened with him with Sheamus, so that's cool. Then we go to Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. Now, I really enjoyed that. The feud is a bit, up and down, but I really enjoyed that. I thought it was getting really, really good. I loved the ending to that match. That was awesome. I mean, bloody hell. Seth runs to do his foot stomp. Orton flicks up on the shoulder, catches him in a bang, RKO. That was incredible. That was an incredible move. I was absolutely stunned by that. That was a really, really cool ending to a big match. Then we had, let me think, my memory, sorry, I'm getting old. Okay, then we had Sting versus Triple H. I was not that pumped for that match, to be honest with you. The only thing that I was excited to see is really seeing Sting come out for the very first time on WrestleMania. Sting is a top performer, one of my favourite wrestlers as a child, so it was quite a sight to see him finally step foot on WrestleMania soil. The match with him and Triple H was very entertaining. I think that they did some things to kind of, some shortcuts. Obviously, Sting is not like in his prime anymore, but I actually felt he looked very good, athletically speaking, and it was a nice surprise when Degeneration X came running out, Billy Gunn, Road Dogg and X-Pac, and then they interfered. Then the NWO came out, and then you kind of had a face-off between those two. That actually was really entertaining, and I'm not the biggest fan of both groups, but it was very, very entertaining. Then Shawn coming out, that was a shock that nobody saw. That was just like mind-blowing, I can't believe it. Then it looked like Hunter was going to win, then it looked like Sting was going to turn the tide. He splits the sledgehammer with the baseball bat, goes for the Sting splash a little bit later on, gets caught with a bit of the sledgehammer. For sure, I know a lot of people thought Sting was going to win and kick out. I thought Sting was going to win and kick out. Triple H was the one that won. I know a lot of people on Twitter were not happy. I wasn't too thrilled about it myself, but I was more annoyed with the handshake respect thing at the end when there's, if there's not another match, then I can see why they decided to do that, and I'm under the assumption that may be the case. But I think Sting should have won, but that's just me. Then what did we have? Oh, we had that concert, which, who cares? I went to take a piss by that time. Then you had the Divas match with Paige and AJ Lee and the Bellas. And I'm going to say this, because I always have these thoughts when the matches are on. It's really nice to see Paige on the big show. It's very nice to see her down there. Nice to see AJ Lee. Bellas have really come a long, long way as heels, in my opinion. I was actually surprisingly more entertained by this match than I actually expected, which is quite saying something, which is pretty cool. Oh, we had a backstage promo with Daniel Bryan with the belt, with all the former Intercontinental champions. That was cool. I liked that. Then we had, God, see what I mean when I tell you my memory is not the best. I know, it's not the best memory in the world. Alright, we had the Andre the Giant Battle Royal earlier with Big Show winning. I know a lot of people were not happy. They wanted Sandow to win. Tag team title match, thank God, Cesaro and Kid won. So I try and kind of stall for time and remember what was on. And then we get to Paige and AJ Lee, We had that one. Then we had a segment with, if my memory serves me right, Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. They came out and they did this promo, this speech, and then they turned on the crowd and then said they owned all of us. Then The Rock came out, which was a very pleasant surprise. Everybody lost it. Everybody was like, oh my god. Rock comes out. Rock has a verbal exchange with them. And then I feel like, man, this is starting to drag. Oh god, come on. What's the time? Come on, wrap it up, guys. Wrap it up. Thank God when Stephanie did her emasculation promo, as The Rock walked out, he walked by and there was this loud, thunderous Ronda Rousey chant. And I was just sitting there going, oh my god. And then the interest is back. And I felt drawn back into the show. I was like, oh my god, Ronda Rousey's gonna... And I'll tell you what, it worked out so damn well. She got in there, the fans ate it up. I made so much noise in my living room. It was very entertaining to see her in there. You know, seeing a lifelong WWE wrestling fan like Ronda Rousey, famous MMA fighter, one of the toughest women, well, the toughest woman in the world, to come in there and do something there and judo throw Triple H. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they do something with her and Stephanie, maybe at SummerSlam, maybe an angle, or maybe something next year at WrestleMania. I mean, I would love to see that myself. So that was a lot of fun. And I felt like, all my energy, I was on this high after that. And then you had the Taker and Bray Wyatt match. Now, for the last few years, when I've done a WrestleMania review and I've talked about Undertaker, I've kind of felt that the deterioration has showed a bit more. Obviously, the Lesnar match did get knocked silly, so that did affect him. The Taker Bray Wyatt match, I wasn't too thrilled about, and it shocks me because if you told me about this back in 2012, I would have been there for that match. I would have been like, listen, I'm there. This time around, obviously with Taker losing the streak, that shine has gone quite a bit. And also the fact that Bray Wyatt hasn't really come off like a monster, to be honest with you. He's kind of just been there, and you know, if Bray Wyatt was unbeaten for a while, he would have, you know, it would have worked. But when Bray Wyatt and Undertaker were in there, it felt like a standard Undertaker match to me, like on Raw or SmackDown. And yeah, Taker won. He's 22-1, but it just didn't have the shine it could have if Wyatt was unbeaten and Taker was unbeaten, and maybe it would have worked much better. Now, speaking of unbeaten streaks that were broken, John Cena and Rusev, which I almost forgot, and I'll be honest with you, that was the match I was actually looking forward to the most. I was going to bet money that Rusev was going to win. Thank God I didn't, because I would have lost some money. So you have Rusev come out in this like 1980s Rocky style entrance. Thank God Lana came out. Cena does this long America propaganda thing. Cena then comes out. Cena and Rusev have this match. Pretty funny, the fans singing John Cena sucks. I did get told by fans that we're going, we've got plans, so you know, if things don't work out, we're going to do something. Obviously, Cena and Rusev, I thought their first match was better, which is why I think they should have done their first match at WrestleMania. But they didn't. Bit disappointed Rusev lost, actually. Very disappointed. Lana was really good. Lana is really, as people were saying, developing a lot of Sherry Martel-like vibes to her. I thought it was pretty funny when she threw her shoe into the ring. I actually was pretty amused by that. It looks like they're going to split them up because obviously the finish was Rusev went charging at Cena and he knocked over Lana, which got a big reaction. Not cheering, but more of a, oh, fuck, what's going on over there? That kind of reaction. And then Cena gets him in the FU, bang, 1, 2, 3, Cena wins. The American hero is the United States champion. We can all, you know, skip down the yellow brick road. And it was over like that. And I kind of feel like if Rusev had stayed unbeaten, maybe, I think he should have won personally. I can't help but get flashbacks to last year with Bray Wyatt. The same feeling when Cena beat him, when I felt maybe if Rusev beat him this time and then, you know, well, anyways. Then we go to the main event. And it's time to sip my water because you know what that means. It means I've got a lot to say about this. One moment. Right, so the main event, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. For months we have talked about this. For at least a year we have known that Roman Reigns is going to go to the WrestleMania main event. We have known that Roman Reigns is one of the golden boys in that company that's being groomed to be the golden boy in the company. We knew pretty much from the way that the Shield was presented, how he was presented, that this is the guy they're going to go with. The Roman Reigns push really picked up steam in the summer. I felt around the time of SummerSlam the audience seemed to be behind him. However, when we got to the Royal Rumble, we had all these bad promos, which I felt didn't do him any favours. Then Daniel Bryan coming back, and the fans wanted Daniel Bryan, not Roman Reigns. It was all going to work against Roman Reigns' favour, and I think the fans, I got the impression, watching the show, the fans resented Roman going into this main event under the perception that they felt like he didn't deserve to be in that main event. Fans were very interested to see Brock Lesnar. I don't feel like they were very hyped up for Roman Reigns. And it was one of those things where I saw a lot of tweets saying, well, I'm not really looking forward to this match, but Brock Lesnar's on, alright, I'll watch that. So the match happens, and it's a very one-sided match. Brock is literally just similar to SummerSlam, doing the same thing where he's smashing him around, suplexing him, beating him up. Doesn't surprise me that Lesnar got a babyface reaction from the crowd. Not one bit. Roman Reigns was a heel. My friend, who's probably asleep on my sofa right now, and he is. He's asleep on my sofa. He was just like, no one wants Roman to win. And every time Roman was getting smashed around, he was trying to smile and make it look like, I can take a beating like a tough guy. And again, one of the biggest flaws with Roman Reigns that I find that he has is that selling thing. And rest, that means I'm going to have to get smart for a while, and I'll back it up with evidence. Randy Savage was probably the best babyface seller in pro wrestling in the 80s and 90s, because when he took beatings like that, you sympathized with it, you felt it, you got behind him more, and then when he made his comeback, you really got drawn in. And I know that because most of the Randy Savage matches that I remember when he was a babyface provoked that from me. With Roman Reigns, he doesn't have that quality. Fans were literally laughing at him. Fans are making memes about his stupid facial expressions. All of that. Fans were mocking that. And every time he started to make the comeback, fans were not happy. Credit to Brock for selling the way he did. And that's another thing. When Reigns started to get the up or the jump on Lesnar, I got the feeling fans sympathized with Brock more than they would with Roman Reigns, which is not good. And it seemed to be going that way. And Roman looked like he was winning. The fans were just going to boo. And I'm saying to myself, you know what? This is going to be one of those WrestleMania endings that's not going to be pleasant. These fans are going to shit all over this. If you thought Royal Rumble was bad, oh my god, you ain't seen nothing yet. And then it hit me. Hold on a minute. Randy Orton beat Seth Rollins. I wonder if he'll cash in at some point. And as I've said that, and Lesnar's bleeding, and Roman is trying to win, Seth's music hits. And he comes running down there, and I am absolutely shocked. Because you kind of think this might happen, but you don't. You've always wondered at some point at WrestleMania, someone will cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. And out comes Seth Rollins running down, gives the thing in, cashes it in, and I'm like, oh my god, a triple threat match, this is great. I look at the time and I'm thinking, well, this match ain't got long. It goes back and forth. Seth is being hoisted up for an F5. Roman spears Brock Lesnar. Lesnar rolls out the ring. Roman Reigns then gets pinned by Seth Rollins after Seth hits a curb stomp. And the fans went home shocked and happy and with a reason to watch Raw. And I felt that they ended it in a very good way, that in the sense that Seth is kind of being built like the next Edge, if you know what I mean. This sneaky, underhanded guy that finds some kind of underhand way to get a win on you. And that's very good for his villain heel character that they're building right now. And very shocking ending, but not in a bad way, in a good way, where I really want to watch tomorrow night's Raw to see what happens. And it opens up a lot of possibilities now for Raw. It opens up challenges for Seth Rollins. Obviously, Brock Lesnar is going to want to go after him. He wasn't pinned. Roman Reigns at some point is going to want to go after him because he lost to him. Dean Ambrose has a rivalry with him, although it doesn't really look like they're going to go with Dean Ambrose at all this year, but that's just my opinion. They could always use Daniel Bryan and get him in there at some point. So there are some options for Seth, maybe more options for Seth as champion than Roman Reigns as champion. And the other thing too is at least it gives them more time to build Roman Reigns, because that's been the one thing we've all said. Roman needs more time, Roman needs more time, Roman needs this, Roman needs that. Well, now hopefully he gets more time. They can get this formula, they can rework the package, they can perfect it, so when he does win the belt and we get there, the fans accept it. But very shocking ending. I will say this WrestleMania overachieved in many ways, more so than any WrestleMania I've watched in history. Very good with surprises, shocks, twists and turns. Definitely worth the money. Lots of fun. Far better than I expected it to be. The Ronda Rousey appearance was great, and Seth Rollins winning was great too. Anyways, I'm going to stop. My mouth is drying out like the Sahara Desert. I want to know what everyone else thinks. Who was really looking forward to this WrestleMania? Who kind of just got hyped up on the day? Did this WrestleMania overachieve for you? Did this WrestleMania surpass your expectations? How do you feel about all of the matches? Write those comments down below. I need to know every single one of them. If you haven't before, hit that like button. If you haven't before, hit that subscribe button. I've got so much stuff to do for you lot this week. I mean a lot of stuff this week. I want to know what all of you thought of WrestleMania 31. And guys, I am out, and I hope you had a good time. God bless you all. See you tomorrow at War. Can't say my words right. See you tomorrow at Raw. Guys, God bless, peace, and I am out.